Hello and welcome to the Shaman's View. The card that I drew in preparation for our talk today, Walking with Protection in the World, is the card of the Heart of Sky from the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. This is an exquisite card. The Heart of Sky is a creative principle of the cosmos in the cosmology of the native peoples of the Americas, known by many names. The Heart of Sky is actually from the Mayan, but also the Hopis refer to the Heart of Sky. The Heart of Sky is the love that infuses all of creation. Our topic today is walking with protection in the world. How do we create safety and feel safe in times of extraordinary danger? How is it that we can protect our children and our loved ones from all of the lunacy and the madness that is happening in the world today? We know that the world is out of balance. I was sitting with the shamans a couple of years ago doing a ceremony at the solstice, a big solstice ceremony for the healing of the earth. And they began to read the prophecy of the time to come. And they foretold tremendous danger that we would be exposed to, and that humanity may even become extinct. And one of us asked the shamans, where is it safe? Where will it be safe? And they went, there's nowhere that will be safe. And we said, well, there's got to be some. What about the mountains and the jungles? Where can we go that we can protect our loved ones? And the shamans repeated, there's nowhere that will be safe, but you can become a safe person. And if you are a safe person, then you create a bubble of safety around you. And remember that as shamans, for us, there's no difference between being killed by a jaguar and being killed by a microbe. They're exactly the same thing. Being killed by a microbe for us in the West, or by a virus, is an illness, and being killed by a jaguar is an accident. For the shaman, they're exactly the same thing. When you create a bubble of safety around you, the universe actually begins to conspire on your behalf, to protect your health, to look after you. So how do we practice safety? How do we create a bubble of safety in our world? Well, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to reset our fight or flight system. Fight or flight is a system in a very ancient brain that was designed to get us very quickly to run away from a predator or to fight them off to protect the children. And generally, of course, it was the woman that had to do this, because the babies were clinging on to mommy, not to daddy who had run up a tree already. So the fight or flight system is very, very ancient. And every animal in nature has a way of resetting fight or flight so that it gets triggered, you go into hyper alert, your field of vision begins to narrow, you get tremendous adrenaline so you can run, and huge amount of cortisol so you can fight. And then as soon as the danger is over, the system attenuates. You go back to parasympathetic nervous system, deep relaxation. Every animal in nature is able to do that except one, and those are humans. Humans are not able to reset their fight or flight system. Big design flaw. And we lose that ability about the age of 6 weeks. Up to about 6 weeks of age, there's a neurological test that doctors and nurses do where they'll lift the baby's head and release it and hold it, and the child will go through this shaking motion and release the fear. But after about 6 weeks of age, we're no longer capable of doing this. If you were born into a family like I was that was not safe, then you're born with your fight or flight system turned on. The Hopi have a beautiful tale where they say that before we're born, that we have a twin, that we have an astral twin that looks out of the womb to see if this world is safe and for them to be born into. And if the world is not safe, that the astral twin stays behind, it's not born, that we already come into this life with soul loss, feeling like we don't belong here, that part of us is missing. So the very first thing that we need to do to live in a world that is safe is to reset our fight or flight system. And we know how to do it. We don't do it like the animals do anymore. If you watch a deer after in the headlights and after you drive off, the deer will go through this resetting process where a quiver will begin at the very tip of their nose and go right through their entire body and out their tail, and they'll go back to grazing once the tiger has moved away. We cannot do that. We don't know how to do that. But we know that we can do it through our diet. We know that meditation will do it. We know through the breath, by inhaling to a count of 3 and exhaling to a count of 5, extending the breath, the exhale longer than the inhale, because we switch on fight or flight with the inhalation. We go, oh, and it's in the exhalation that we can reset, go back to parasympathetic. We know that we can reset it with DHA, the omega-3 fatty acids. That breast milk is 40% DHA and is called an essential fatty acid because we don't get it, we don't manufacture it. We need to get it from our food. And we used to get it from fish and from eggs, but today all of our fish is farm raised, has no DHA, no omega-3s, so we need to supplement. I tell my students that if you don't have a friend who is lactating that will offer you some breast milk, you need to supplement because we need to repair the hippocampus that controls the fight or flight system. And the hippocampus will repair very quickly, will repair within 6 weeks with DHA-rich supplements. So consider that in your diet. Absolutely, absolutely essential. The next thing that we can do is that we can relax deeply in the breast of our mother. Now, most of us are too old to do this with our physical mother, but we can come back to our great mother, to Mother Earth. And we come back to the great mother with a fire ceremony that I'm going to share with you today. It's called the Return to the Mother. And the beauty of this ceremony is that it not only helps you to reset your fight or flight and to rest deeply in our mother's breast, in Pachamamas, in Mother Earth, but it also clears up a tremendous amount of mommy issues. Because so many of our mother issues are because we feel abandoned, that we're motherless, we're not looked after anymore, and we feel bereft of a mother. So this ceremony that we're going to do today is the return to the mother. It's the return to embracing the one that has never left us, that has always been by our side, and that gives us our sustenance and our food and our power and our vitality and our life force, the great mother. So the ceremony is like this. I'm going to ask you to get a candle and do this tonight, or if you have your candle with you, do it now. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to take your death arrow, that stick that you use for your medicine offerings, that which you wish to release and that which you wish to recover. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to place your physical mother in this stick and to thank her for everything that she gave you and to release her, to set her free. For many of us, our mothers have already passed away, but we still have to live under the shadow of the mother. And what we want to do is to let our physical mothers go in their journey, to bless them and to thank them. Even if you had a terrible mother, even if it was a mother from hell, to thank her so that you don't have to be born with her again in a future life. And to blow her name into that stick. And then to place that stick in the fire, releasing her. So there's no debt. There's nothing that she owes you. There's nothing that you owe her. And you practice gratitude. Even if you had the most terrible or the most beautiful relationship, you wish her well on her journey. And then if you want, you can bring the fire around your energy centers, around your chakras very carefully to release those places where the physical mother may remain. And then for the next part in the ceremony is to pass your hands above the fire and to bring in the spirit of the mother, of Pachamama, the great mother, into your heart. To take her into you, Pachamama, great mother, you who are the mother who never left me. Thank you, mother. Thank you for holding me so sweetly, for all the blessings and all the beauty and all the joy that you bring to me. Thank you, mother. And now to bring that energy and that love to your forehead, to the center of wisdom, the yachai, the place where we hold wisdom and we connect to wisdom directly. And then to your belly, to your womb, the place where you create from, your hara, whether you're a man or a woman. This is your spiritual, energetic womb, a place where you rebirth yourself, where you create, and where creation expresses itself through you. And then we return to our mother's breast, where we are held safely, where we can reset our fight or flight system by resting deeply on our mother's breast, knowing that she wants us to be well, knowing that we're protected, and knowing that this is actually part of the great shaman's agreement that we make with spirit. The shaman's agreement is that yes, we call and spirit answers. Spirit protects us. And the other part of the agreement is that when spirit calls, when our mother needs us, that we protect her, that we become earth keepers, stewards and guardians of Mother Earth, that in the same way that she holds us sweetly on her breast, that this is the time that we need to protect her, that we accept that invitation to become stewards and guardians of the earth, earth keepers. The highest level of initiation of shamans around the world is as earth keepers. And then the wisdom and the memory of the entire earth becomes available to you. So remember that for the shaman, there's a difference between information and wisdom. And that information is knowing that water is H2O. Wisdom is being able to make it rain. Information is having a diagnosis, knowing where you're going to die from. Wisdom is being able to heal and to become whole. As we make our way back to our mother, we become part of that renewal process of the earth so that we can be renewed, we can be healed, and we can be safe in the world. We create a bubble of safety around us and we become a safe person. Our children are safe, our homes are safe, our village is safe. So I invite you to do so, to practice safety, to practice wisdom, to know that our mother is looking out for you, that she has your back, and that you are cared for, that your health is cared for, your safety is cared for, and that you can walk in the world fearlessly at this time of great fear. Fearlessly, but with wisdom, tempered by wisdom. Do this fire ceremony. Remember that we cannot change our mind unless we change our brain. That we cannot change our beliefs unless we change the structure of the brain. And the brain only changes through ceremony. And fire is the ceremony that we have been doing for millennia. Sitting around the fire, sharing stories around the fire, making love around the fire, giving birth around the fire, and returning back home around the fire. Thank you for joining me in the Shaman's View. I'm Dr. Alberto Villoldo, and blessings to you in this time of the full moon that we're in right now.